Hey guys, David Schuler here, and I'm excited to bring you the first episode in an 8-part series about setting goals. Setting goals is important to me, and if you want to be successful, it should be important to you. This is something that I try to practice personally, professionally, as a parent, and as a coach. So here I am shooting on location from my front yard because the mornings are awesome, okay? So that's why we're doing it. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So, in this series, I start off things with today with what is a goal, why should you set them, and what do you need? And then, starting in tomorrow's episode, I will go with the breakdown of the first of each component, and tomorrow being the first component of the SMART-E.R method, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, evaluate, and readjust. Each component they tie into each other and they're not distinctly siloed and separate from each other. They do have their own respective purpose, but the way that I go about it and the SMART-E.R method, it helps, to combine everything into one more thorough plan and method. And that's why I try to use it, especially with it emphasizes evaluate and readjust, where some other methods, they kind of just gloss over it. So now let's do what we're here for. What is a goal? Okay, so by definition, in the physical form or tangible sense, a goal is the end towards which effort is directed. So think of it as like a basketball hoop or a soccer goal, or in a more theoretical sense or intangible, that it's defined as an idea of the future or like a desired result that a person or a group of people they envision, they plan, and they commit to achieve. So now that we know what a goal is, let's go ahead and go over a couple of reasons of why should you set goals. So why should you set goals? Well, I'm going to go ahead and use my professional experience for this one. For the first reason is that I've been in engineering and construction for the past 12 years. I started out in the field, now I'm in the office. And what my job is, I am a BIM specialist. BIM standing for Building Information Management. Now, my title will vary from company to company, but the job is pretty much the same. And I oversee 3D models and 2D plans of MEP content, and MEP standing for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and anything that concerns it. So I have been also involved in a lot of types of projects. Some of the bigger ones, have been in football stadiums, very large data centers that were bigger than 5 football fields, aerospace research facilities. And the company I'm with now, they focus primarily on hospitals. So you name it. A lot of the projects I've been on have been over $100 million. Some of the bigger ones, over 500 million, and I've had a couple that were over a billion. So it's very important that all of the MEP and the architects and the structural engineers and the general contractors and subcontractors, they're all on board, and everything has to be well coordinated. Okay, so that way we want to make sure that a building functions, it doesn't fall down, it operates the way that it's supposed to, and that's kind of like how a goal is. Now, another similarity between a goal and a building is that there's a certain timeline and a certain schedule that you must adhere to. Okay, so if a building, it says it must be constructed and occupied by this certain date, you have to work a certain schedule with certain milestones to meet that schedule. And that's kind of like how a goal is. Okay, so think of your goal as a building, that you have a place where you start, where you got basically empty land, and you have to finish with this with the fully operated and occupied building. Kind of like how a goal is. Say if you need to lose 20 pounds, you have to start somewhere. Okay, so having a well-defined schedule that you adhere to and you stick to with honest, and that you need to be able to adjust when things go wrong, that's what's going to make you successful. And that's why I like to use the analogy of a building when it comes to kind of giving an idea of why should you set goals. So what are some other reasons that you need to set goals? Well, they also help you create accountability, so that way you can actually get stuff done. Okay, they also help you focus on the small things, that way you're not overwhelmed by the big things, and that way you can also stay on track for maximum results. And if you don't believe me, do an internet search right after this video, or you can pause it right now, I don't care, and just search for why is setting goals important. And then also go ahead and compare why it's not. I just did it. Still nothing popped up on why setting goals isn't important, but let me know what you see. And now if you go ahead and compare the results and you still think setting goals isn't important, in some extent, either you haven't been successful because of poor planning, lack of knowledge, or you're just scared, or maybe you're just flat out lazy. So which one is it? Now on to what do you need? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to put them in writing. Okay, putting them in writing makes you actually think about them, and it makes it tangible because you can actually see it and you can actually hold the piece of paper, the book, wherever you have it written. On top of that, if you were to find out that you won a sweepstakes raffle and the grand prize was $1 million and all you had to do was to show up to get it, but you were only allowed to ask one question, that one question is, where do I go? Okay, so you're obviously going to get that address. You're going to go ahead and write it down. You're going to draw up a map. Okay, you're going to find out how you get from where you're at now to how you get to that to that $1 million. So that's kind of the contradictory to how people like to set goals. Okay, but like I said, for whatever reason, when it comes to setting goals, people just think, yeah, I got it. You got it in your head. It's all good. No, okay, things change. You can forget stuff. Circumstances change. You can change your mind along the way. You can start to ad lib. So do yourself a favor and go ahead and write everything down. But go ahead and get yourself a journal so that way you can keep track of your goals, your action plan, and track daily progress, which is something we're going to go ahead and go over tomorrow. Make sure that in this journal you include your personal motto, something that it is that you say to yourself to kind of give you mental fuel to keep going, and then also be sure to add your purpose. You also need to get an accountability buddy that you can check in with every day. If you don't reach out to them, they get in touch with you. Okay, someone who won't let you fail and someone that's honest. Someone that's going to tell you what you need to know rather than what you want to hear. Okay, studies show that you're 90% more successful with someone helping you along the way than if you're just trying to do it alone. Okay, so an accountability buddy, it helps you identify any goals and inconsistencies in your plan. Okay, yeah, it's your goal, it's your plan, but after a while things start to blur, and it's always good to have a second set of eyes to help do a quality check. Okay, you owe it to yourself and to your goal to make sure that things are as thorough and as clear as possible. Now, deciding on a goal, make sure that you don't pick a safe one. Okay, safe ones are ones that don't challenge you. When deciding on a goal, you should have this sense of feeling of doubt. Like, can you actually accomplish this? Okay, it should force you to get out of your comfort zone. You should feel, comfortable goals. They don't really challenge you because you have a pretty good chance of achieving them. Okay, being uncomfortable is what creates change. And in order to create that change, you must be willing to create new habits because let's face it, the situation that you're in now is because of your current habits. There is a reason why you want to accomplish this goal that you're setting. Okay, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. Okay, if you want to lose weight, you need to change your diet and eat cleaner. Okay, you also need to exercise. But if you want to get in better shape and lose weight, you also need to do exercises and a workout routine that's going to be more beneficial to your skill set and situation. Just don't go out there and plow through it. Okay, you need to work on a progressive way so that way it's sustainable and achievable for long term, because short term results don't always last. So go ahead and think about everything that was covered today and come back tomorrow when we get into the actual process of setting a goal, starting with specific and the S.M.A.R.T.E.R method. Now, one thing you kind of need to realize is that when it comes to believing in yourself, nobody's going to be more of a critic than you are, okay, to yourself. So, yeah, you will have people who may not understand your motivation for accomplishing whatever goal that it is that you're trying to set because it's not theirs, okay? It's not their goal. It's not their motivation. Not everyone's going to support you how you want to be supported, okay? You will develop some haters along the way. So people, they get off track because they listen to the boos. And the reason that they listen to all the boos is because they listen to the cheers, okay? So don't listen to either one and focus on what it is that you're doing and going through. And even if you have people help you along the way, which if you do, you make sure you thank them. And if you have people helping you, you owe it to them to accomplish your goals. Because if they're going to help you, you owe it to get done. Okay, so but at the end of the day, this is all your goal that you need to accomplish. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Okay, there's a lot going on in this world, and it's causing a lot of hate and shame and division amongst families, friends, and neighbors. And that shouldn't be the case. Okay, while we have the freedom of speech and we're free to have our own opinions, rather than trying to shut down the different opinion or of someone, or the people are saying something you don't like, try to understand, why it is that they feel that way. Try to understand not just so much what they're saying, but why are they saying it? What are there certain experiences that are causing them to have that perspective? Okay, so now granted, yes, there are some people that say some very hateful and mean things that nobody with any sort of morality should believe. Okay, and those are the things that should be shut down. But outside of that, hopefully that you guys, we can remember that there's a reason why, you're friends and you guys were to be able to get along before a lot of this stuff happened, and hopefully you guys can remember that. And if it comes to a point where you can't, then so be it. But try to have some dignity and respect to kind of just part ways. But just remember that there was a reason why you guys were like that before, and try to peacefully get back to that place. And until that next time, thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.